The silence in the VIP suite was suffocating, broken only by the rhythmic beeping of Serafina's heart monitor and her shallow, panicked breathing. My mother, who had always rushed to Serafina's side at the slightest sniffle, took a slow, deliberate step backward. The look in her eyes wasn't just disappointment, it was a horrifying realization dawning like a slow-moving nightmare. The bank card, my father rasped, his voice sounding like dry leaves crushing together. The card I transferred thousands of dollars to every month for the last 3 years. The one I thought Alara was using to spite us. You gave it to him, Dad. No, you have to believe me. Serafina shrieked, clutching her chest, genuinely terrified now. Alara was always jealous of me. She wanted me to look bad. She set this up. Alara is dead, Serafina, my father said, the words finally leaving his mouth as truth, not as a denial. He stared at his golden child, the daughter he had sacrificed his other child for. She died 3 years ago. Alone. In agony. How could she possibly set this up from a public urn? Serafina froze. The tears stopped, replaced by a hollow, trapped look. For the first time in her life, the victim card wasn't working. You swapped her medication, my mother whispered, the horrific reality of the pharmacy owner's words finally sinking in. Her hands flew to her mouth, stifling a sob that threatened to tear her apart. She came to us. She showed us her medical records. She was crying, telling us she was in pain. And you told us she was faking it. You told us the pills were vitamins. She was always complaining. Serafina snapped, the facade finally cracking, revealing the ugly, rotten core underneath. She always wanted your attention. I was the one who broke my legs because she pushed me. I deserved to be taken care of, not her. She didn't push you. A voice from the doorway interrupted. Everyone turned. It was Mr. Miller. He stood there, holding a tablet, looking at my family with a mixture of disgust and profound pity. I went to the school archives today, Mr. Miller said, stepping into the room. When you came making demands about Alara, I decided to pull the old security footage from 3 years ago. The school was undergoing renovations, and we found a backup drive from the cameras near the old staircase. He held up the tablet, pressing play. The screen showed the landing of the stairs on the night of my birthday. It showed Serafina standing at the top, looking down. It showed me walking up, holding a small plate with a slice of birthday cake. And then, it showed Serafina grabbing my wrist, pulling me toward her, and deliberately throwing herself backward down the stairs, making sure to scream my name as she fell. I hadn't pushed her. I hadn't even touched her. My parents stared at the screen, the video looping in a silent, damning cycle. My mother collapsed onto the floor, her legs giving out completely. A guttural, agonizing wail tore from her throat. It was the sound of a soul fracturing. We kicked her out, she sobbed, tearing at her hair. We kicked our baby out into the street because of a lie. We let her die. My God, we let her die. My father stood frozen, his face devoid of color. He looked at Serafina, who was now shrinking back against the headboard, refusing to meet his eyes. You killed your sister, my father said, his voice eerily calm, the calm of a man who had lost everything. You systematically tortured her, lied about her, and paid a man to ensure she didn't get the medicine that could have saved her life. Just to keep our attention. I was sick too. Serafina screamed, her voice cracking. My kidneys are failing. I need a transplant. You said you'd save me. You said you loved me. We loved an illusion, my father replied coldly. He turned his back on her, walking over to my mother and helping her up from the floor. Dad, where are you going? You can't leave me. Serafina sobbed, reaching out toward him. The doctor said I don't have much time. My father didn't look back. He supported my mother, who was weeping uncontrollably, murmuring my name over and over again. They walked past Mr. Miller, their shoulders bowed under the crushing weight of their irreversible mistake. I floated behind them, a strange, hollow sensation filling my spirit. For years, I had craved their love, their attention, their validation.